Hey, what's going on everybody? I've got a pile of Perrin Performance parts in front of me right now for the 10th gen Honda Civic. That was a tongue twister. We're going to go through all of them, tell you what they are and how they work. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's JP from Edge Autosport. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy this video and any others that we have out there, and especially for the 10th gen Civic Si. There's a lot of mods that we've been talking about, and we have kind of a whole slew of parts right here for the 10th gen Honda Civic that we're going to talk about. These are specifically from Perrin Performance. I really like Perrin. They've been in the game for a long time. Once the Civic came out, they hopped on board, made a bunch of cool parts. So this is not all of them. There's a handful of other parts that are available from them, but this is a good chunk of them. So we're gonna go through them and just show them to you. So I'll just get right into it. We're gonna start off with this strut tower bar. Now this thing comes in black and red. I have assembled this thing, so I'm not gonna assemble it on camera. I've already assembled it, but these feet that attach onto the end of the bar come separate in some plastic bags, so you'll have to assemble them, but it's super easy. It's 4 Allen head bolts, and you pop them right on and it's ready to go on the car. So this sits in the engine bay on the top of the shock tower, so it connects the left and the right shock tower, and this is going to prevent the car from from twisting and rotating through a turn on the upper side of it. So it kind of keeps the strut towers tied together more. And at the end of the day, it just adds rigidity to the chassis and gives you a better solid, positive feel in the car, better handling car altogether. So on top of that, I mean, I like functional parts all day long, but this thing is gonna look really nice inside the engine bay, in my opinion, especially with the red. We all know red is the fastest color of all. So this is going to be a good addition to the engine bay, definitely. And I'm just gonna open up all these boxes. Now, we've taken pictures of all these products, so it should be pretty easy to take them out of the plastic bagging, but they do come packaged pretty nicely. We'll start off with this first one. This is an accelerator pedal relocation kit. So what this is gonna do, this is just a really nice billet aluminum plate that is CNC machined, really nice plate here. And you're gonna take your pedal, your accelerator pedal off. You're gonna put this on the back of it, and this is going to allow you to put it in a couple different positions of your choice. It moves the pedal a little bit out and just in line with the brake pedal after it's depressed. So this is really popular for guys that go to the track a lot or want to be able to have that heel and toe action. Some guys like to drive on the street with that sort of ability. And a lot of times, pretty much every car these days doesn't have the accelerator pedal in the right position to be able to do that very well. And it's definitely a race car feature that a lot of guys like to have. So something like this is really cool for that. Like I said, there's 2 different positions you can put it in. So check out our site for more info on that and to see the pictures of it. But this is a pretty cool piece right here. All right, next up is a rear motor mount insert. Now they make this for the Type R and the SI chassis. I don't know if there's a true difference to the actual bushing itself, but they are different part numbers, so make sure you order the right one. We've actually done a video on these on our own car before, and this is probably one of my favorite mods so far. It's so simple and it's so inexpensive. This stuff comes in around $30 on our website. And what these do is these insert into the existing OEM rear motor mount. They fit into the empty spaces in the original OEM bushing. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna tighten up the bushing, prevent it from moving back and forth so much, which is what happens on a lot of front wheel drive cars, especially ones that have turbos with a much higher amount of torque than a non-turbo car. The bushing just moves around and gives a lot. So now it's pretty well known that bushings, upgraded bushings, stiffer bushings really kind of compromise the comfort of the cabin of the car on the interior. It might vibrate more. It might be a lot noisier inside the car, which kind of is unfortunate, but it is what it is. However, with these, I can tell you firsthand in our Honda Civic Si, there's really hardly any difference. You can feel it, but it does not compromise comfort at all. So these are super useful, and for such an inexpensive price, it's really a no-brainer. So Really love these things from Perrin. All right, next up is a short shift adapter. Now I'm gonna show you the two-way adjustable one. There is also a single adjustable one, and I'll show you in just a second how these work. So let me take this out of here. Very, very simple machined part here. This is going to go on the bottom side, on the end of the shift rod inside of your shifter assembly. So you can see that it has a ball for the kind of ball and socket joint at the bottom that attaches to the cables. This is going to adjust there, and you can see that it's offset from the center. The single way adjustable is dead in the center, so it's not adjustable from that standpoint. This ball is either on the far side or the near side, or however it ends up going on. You just twist it to whatever location you want. And then the second way is, you can go up and down as well in order to lengthen or shorten the throw as well. So very simple piece. This appears to be steel, so it's actually pretty heavy. It's a nice solid piece, nice machining here. And the install isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world. You got to take off a lot of the inside of the car to get to that shifter assembly, but once you do, this goes on relatively easy. So nice little part there as well. Okay, and next up after that is the shifter cable lock. So we have not installed this one yet. We'll go ahead and show you the piece itself and just talk a little bit about what it does. As you can see, some grease, it looks like, is included in this, some O-rings, and actually these rings are to tie the shifter cable to this end here. Just judging off the pictures that I know Perrin has, that's what those are for. But this is just a nice billet aluminum, CNC machined little bracket here. And this goes on the end of the shifter assembly, or that shifter cage underneath your center console. And it just prevents extra movement in the shifter cables as you're rowing through the gears or as you're moving the shifter linkage. It's just gonna prevent any movement, holds the shifter cables nice and tight. So again, just like the last part we just went over, you do need to get to the shifter assembly itself underneath the center console, but once you do, this is a relatively easy install at that point as well. Okay, and second to last here is the solid shifter bushing. This is a very easy install. Not nearly as in-depth as the other ones that we just went over for the shifter assembly. Even though this is shifter bushing, this bushing is actually going to go inside of the engine bay area on the end of the shifter cable on top of the transmission. So let me get this guy out here. So as you can see, this is a nice aluminum piece here, nice machining with two rubber O-rings built into here. And this is gonna, like I said, just slide right on the end of your existing shifter cable. And what this is gonna do is replace the rubber unit. Obviously aluminum, it's not going to give at all like rubber does. It's not going to be flexible. So as you're shifting, this bushing is going to hold the end of the shifter cable in place much better, and it's not going to have that little tiny flex at the end like the factory rubber bushing. So a nice little addition here. All right, and last but not least is one of my favorite things actually, especially for street cars, is a license plate relocation kit. Now unfortunately, the Civic doesn't exactly have an easy way to replace a license plate. This piece right here is going to attach to the existing crash beam area on the inside of the bumper, and then this is going to be sitting on the outside, and your license plate just attaches to this. Now, I won't lie, this does require some modification to the front bumper, to that plastic black kind of bezel for your fog light, that big piece. It does require some modification to that, just some cutting. So, it's not too in-depth, it's not too hard, but once you have this thing on there, it definitely makes it look much better and much more appropriate for a nice looking street car. So something that I really like. It is slightly adjustable up and down. So, if you don't like it sitting too high, you can lower it and so forth. All the hardware that you need to mount it to the bumper comes in the kit. So aside from just modifying that plastic on the bumper, very easy. So yeah, everything you need is right here. So there you have it. There is a handful of Perrin parts for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hope you learned a little bit about them and got to know them, and we helped you decide if you want to go ahead and get these. All this stuff is on our site, so head over to the site. We'll put links in the description for all this stuff. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments below. Let us know what you think, and we'll get right back to you. But other than that, thanks for watching the video. We'll see you next time.